Last class, we were discussing about feasibility, and I got disconnected. We'll continue from there. Right. So, in the last parts of feasibility, we was talking about issues of um, time and cooperation with others. You have facilities, whether or not the particular researcher has enough facility and resources to perform surgery, to perform the study. So, do they have any enough amount of grant money to perform literature, to hire people, to uh, book a particular lab, or let's suppose even if they are doing in their own lab, do they have enough equipment to perform the study? Do they have enough incentives to give to the patients? Now, sometimes what happens is कभी कभी आप स्टडी कर रहे हो जब even if it is not on a pathological event. Let's suppose you are doing on a study on general behavior of people. More often than not, what happens is you will have to pay the participants of the study, subjects of the study. So वो करने के लिए भी आपके पास पैसे हैं नहीं है, all of that. But do you have enough skills to perform that? Does the researcher have relevant experience? Does the researcher have enough experience? You have to take into account ethical considerations as well. Okay, then there is a matter of suitability. Now this ties into feasibility in a way, because suitability mainly relies on the researcher's competence. Okay, are they skillful enough? Will they be able to develop? Will they be able to administer, and will they be able to interpret the data that they are getting? Any necessary data for that particular study? Okay, so feasibility एक था, then we have feasibility, then we have suitability. ठीक है, suitability में आप basically क्या देख रहे हैं? These are all criteria for good research. Okay, originality, significance. You have to make sure that the research is neither too general nor too specific. Okay, then you come across feasibility, then suitability. Suitability में आप ये देख रहे हैं कि whether that researcher has the experience and has the skill set to perform that research properly and to justify the grant money that has been given to them. Okay, you do not want a researcher who will just waste time and waste money and waste resources in general. Okay, will they be able to carry out all the steps of the project? Will they be able to direct other people to perform the study? Now, in any study, you will have you will have a lot of hierarchy. Okay, there will be the principal investigator. Principal investigator will be the main person, the main researcher under whom that research is going on. Okay, इनके अंडर बहुत सारे लोग रहते हैं. Okay, there'll be a team of 20, 30, or depending on how big that project is, maybe more will be employed, maybe fewer people might be employed. Okay, you can also perform a research solo. एक person भी research कर सकते, depending on what you are researching about. ठीक है, for example, आप एक simple microbiological research कर रहे हैं, सिंपल नहीं, कोई माइक्रोबायोलॉजिकल रिसर्च कर रहे हैं वेयर यू आर स्टडीइंग द सेंसिटिविटी ऑफ सर्टेन ऑर्गेनिजम्स, लेट्स सपोज, ठीक है, टू वेरियस एंटीबायोटिक्स एंड हाउ दे हैव become insensitive or grown more sensitive. Generally it will be insensitive to certain antibiotics. Let's suppose there is a study going on, and you approach your organization saying that they are about 3 drugs. Okay, and in general, what is happening is patients are not responding very well to these 3 drugs, to these 3 antibiotics. I want to perform a study to check whether or not these 3 drugs are effective in this population anymore. तो आप क्या करते हैं? कोई local hospital में जाके, या you basically isolate bacteria, or you isolate that organism against which these antibiotics are generally used from that local area. Okay, क्योंकि you are specifically studying subjects in that area. आप क्या करते हैं? फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये स्टडिंग सब्जेक्ट्स इन हैदराबाद, आप क्या करते हैं? वहाँ के कोई पेशेंट्स एंड वहाँ पर जो एंडेमिक है ऑर्गेनिजम्स, उनको आइसोलेट कर दे, एंड लेट्स सपोज these 3 drugs are supposed to work on 10 different organisms. Okay, so you basically take petri dishes and you'll grow these bacteria, and you will administer these 3 drugs in all of those 10 petri dishes. ठीक है, तो टेक्निकली 30 petri dishes आते हैं आपके पास. ठीक है, I'm only drawing 4 here. So imagine यहाँ पर 4 अलग organisms एक बार में कर रहे हैं. For example, ठीक है, this is organism 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is drug A, drug B and drug C. ठीक है, for example, आप culture करके, now in microbiology you must have read that you can culture microorganisms. The same way यहाँ पर मैं 4 organisms को culture कर रहा हूँ and I'm making them grow first. ठीक है, petri dish में. Once they have grown, what I will do is I administer a little bit of drug in that petri dish, and I will see the progress. What is happening in the presence of the drug? What is happening to that organism? Okay. So after doing that, I will know whether or not certain drugs are working against these organisms or not. I already know that these drugs used to work on these organisms. What I am trying to find out is whether they still do or not. ठीक है. आपको ये कहाँ से मिलता है? ये एविडेंस आपको क्लिनिकल डेटा से मिल रहा कि let's suppose someone is mentioning to you that nowadays antibiotic resistance is pretty common, and what do you call, these drugs which used to work are not working anymore. We need to give either a higher dose or we need to change the drug or something like that. They are mentioning to you. So this sparks interest to you as a researcher. Let me perform research and find out. And at the end, let's suppose you find out that that antibiotic is not working at the original dose, whatever dose was used to, whatever dose was given initially, it is not working in, let's suppose, this organism number 2. A is not working in organism number 2 and organism number 4. B is working in all of them and C is not working in organism 1. तो आप क्या करते हैं इसके थ्रू? आप स्पेक्ट्रम चेंज कर देते ड्रग का. ओके, जस्ट होल्ड ऑन 1 सेकेंड.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, कब आ रहे तुम लोग सब? ओए दोस्त लोग, कब आ रहे हो तुम लोग?
Hey guys, sorry about that. So अभी we are discussing suitability में बोल रहा था जैसा आप एक रिसर्च यहाँ पर कर रहे हैं whether you know to find out those antibiotics are working or not. Now that researcher found out that drug A is not working anymore in bacteria 2 and bacteria 4C is not working in 1. This means that the spectrum that you get with each drug needs to be changed. That will be the result of your research. All right. From this, you found out that now, if you remember pharmacology, we had discussed about spectrum of each drug. For every antibiotic, there is a specific spectrum. मतलब कौन से organisms पे काम करता है and कौन से dose पे काम करता है. Because that needs to be changed through that research. So that also comes under suitability. Okay. Then this also ties into facilities. तो आपके पास proper facilities हैं नहीं हैं ये perform करने के लिए. Now let's suppose वही research ले लिया antibiotic की, whether or not do you have a lab to perform that? Do you have enough money to collect all the samples? Do you have enough patients to collect the samples? Do you have enough drugs to collect that? वो पूरी time हो जाते हैं. Okay. Another important criteria for a good research problem is whether or not it is useful and whether it is socially relevant or not. Okay. If you are performing research that is not useful or it is not socially relevant, it will be completely useless. That research problem that you are trying to answer needs to be socially relevant. Okay. If you take any remote disease which might be affecting 1 in a million people and you study about that, okay, it is not that it is completely useless, it is just that compared to something that is affecting more common people, ज़्यादा effective रहता. ठीक है. For example, let's suppose you are conducting research on ALS. Okay, ALS has become technically quite common nowadays. Let's suppose you are doing research on SJS, Stevens-Johnson syndrome, compared to doing research on malaria. I'm not telling research on SJS is useless and people who are doing research on SJS is completely impractical and all of that. Just that from a usefulness standpoint, this is useful, but this is more applicable, especially in certain areas of the world, Africa, India. वहाँ पर ज़्यादा applicable रहता है compared to doing research on this, things like that. Then we come to the final part of this chapter, which is writing objectives. How do you go about writing objectives? Now there are two main ways through which you can write objectives. या तो आप question form में लिख सकते हैं या statement form में लिख सकते हैं. Generally speaking, question के ऐसा close करते हैं, but you can put it as a statement as well. I'll give you one scenario where it is being given in a statement form or it is being given in a question form. दोनों भी देखे दिखा तो कैसा रहता. So for example, let's suppose first we are talking about statement form. Okay, how you write objectives. So this will be what you will write in your research when you perform research this year. Your statement जो आप क्या बोलते हैं objectives लिखेंगे, it will be in this form. Okay, one of these forms. So let's suppose I will give you one statement. To assess the knowledge of staff nurses regarding management of pain among cancer patients. Okay, so this is one objective. This is one way through which you can give a problem statement. So the problem is that there is pain in cancer patient and you are trying to find out how well the staff nurses are equipped, what kind of knowledge they have to deal with these patients, how well are they able to manage the pain in cancer patients. Another way to write the same in statement form, same information को the statement form में लिखता हूँ so that you can compare and understand. To develop information guide sheet regarding management of pain among cancer patients. And generally क्या होता, when you write it in your research properly in your thesis statement and grant proposal, you remove the two. Okay, we'll remove this part. So the objective will start off as assess the knowledge of staff nurses regarding management of pain among cancer patients. Yeah, developing information guide sheets regarding management of pain among cancer patients. So this is a statement that you are giving to whoever you are proposing the research. For example, let's suppose you are proposing the research to the management of a hospital. You went to the management of hospital and you are telling, I want to do this research. Okay. So what will be the objective of the research? These will be the objective of the research. मैं cancer patients पर research करना चाह रहा हूँ. Specifically, how well their pain is being managed by the nurses there. Okay. Possibly even developing a method to manage pain more efficiently and more effectively. The similar concept, let's suppose I am posing it as a question. Okay. Question for me. What strategy should be adopted for pain management among cancer patients? ऐसा भी लिख सकते हैं आप अपना problem statement. ठीक है, in question form. Another way is what are the associations between knowledge of staff nurses and selected variables? यहाँ पर selected variables will be obviously pain. ठीक है, पेन आप थोड़े और वेरिएबल्स भी इंट्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं, जैसा एज ऑफ द पेशेंट, जेंडर ऑफ द पेशेंट, will it affect how their pain perception is, whether or not they have certain comorbidities that might affect their pain perception. For example, अगर पेशेंट को एंजाइटी या डिप्रेशन है या कोई और साइकेट्रिक डिसऑर्डर है तो उनका पेन परसेप्शन अलग रहता अलॉन्ग विद कैंसर. ठीक है, तो उनको पेन जो कैंसर की वजह से हो रहा that might be perceived differently, either more or less because of that psychiatric condition. ऐसे variables आप introduce कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, so that is how you write objectives for any research or grant proposal. So I hope that you understood what is research problem and what are the things that go inside a research problem, what is a problem statement and what makes up a good problem statement, and how you write objectives. If you have doubts, feel free to ask right now, or else we'll move into the next chapter. I can put it in the chat as well if you're not able to use a microphone. Cool. Now we'll look at the next chapter, that is the review of literature. Now, this is something which is very, very important with respect to research in general for what you will be researching on. Q. See, literature review will give you an overview of that field of inquiry, okay, including details of topic, who are the key writers, what are the prevailing theories about a certain topic, what are the hypotheses that you might find, questions that are being commonly asked that you can research on. What are the methods that are being followed? Review of literature, आप क्या कर रहे हैं? You are essentially reviewing literature that has already been published or which has not been published. आप क्या कर रहे हैं? Let's suppose एक textbook लिए, that can be a source of literature. या published paper है, ठीक है, that can be source of literature. Maybe someone of your seniors or juniors आगे जब भी आप पढ़ेंगे, suppose you are doing MSc or you are doing PhD and some of your peers are doing research on certain topic. Okay. Now PhD is not the limit of study. Okay, there is post PhD after that, postdoctoral will do, then after that comes fellowship. So there will be people who you find in your lives who will be doing postdoctoral research, who will be doing fellowship and all of that. So usme whatever research they are doing, you might get inspiration from their research. Okay, when not just inspiration, you might get a good idea about what is going on about that particular topic. For example, आप cardiothoracic में research करना चाह रहे हैं, MSN का cardiothoracic part, and let's suppose the specific area that you chose is myocardial infarction. Myocardial infarction itself is a very large field, because think of it this way: the causes of myocardial infarction, they are several. आप उस पर research कर सकते हैं. Drugs that are used in myocardial infarction, वो कितने की है, उस पर रिसर्च कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, आफ्टर इफेक्ट्स ऑफ myocardial infarction वो कर सकते हैं. What will be the quality of life essentially after effects comes? What will be the quality of life of the patient? Again, you can introduce variables depending on gender, depending on age, depending on area they live in, depending on the country they live in, whether they live in a developed area, whether they live in a bad conditions, how is their general health before and after myocardial infarction. So obviously one person cannot do all of this research. That is why generally you will find people who do specialization and who dedicate their whole life to one particular topic, because there is so much that you can go about. Let's suppose I have an authority who has been researching about myocardial infarction for 30 years. Okay, they might, so for 3 decades they have been doing this kind of research. इसका मतलब क्या है, उन्होंने अलग अलग एस्पेक्ट से मायोकार्डियल इन्फेक्शन को देख लिए, कैसा कॉज हो रहा है उसको देखे, उसका ट्रीटमेंट को देखे, पेशेंट को क्या हो रहा है उसके बाद देख लिए, ठीक है, हाउ आर दे लिविंग आफ्टर दैट, all of that comes into picture. What are the factors that will govern whether they'll survive that myocardial infarction or not? That can also be research. तो आप रिव्यू में क्या कर रहे हैं, एक पब्लिश पेपर को या एक थियोरी को आप रिव्यू कर रहे हैं. यू आर ट्राइंग टू समराइज एंड इंटरप्रेट आफ्टर क्रिटिकली इवैल्यूएटिंग दैट लिटरेचर और दैट पब्लिश्ड पीस, so that you can summarize it in your own way. You can write your own 2 thoughts on that particular thing. Why is this important? Let's suppose you now as a fresh researcher are doing research on myocardial infarction, and suppose for your fourth year of fourth year of nursing, you are choosing a topic of myocardial infarction and you are doing research on that. Let's suppose you find that person who has done already 30 years of research on it. Unke papers mil gaya, to it will be like a golden ticket for you. I'm not telling that you can copy from that, but you can gain a lot of information from just reading their papers. Okay? Always remember that you should never copy from anyone. Okay? Plagiarism is very, very bad. So plagiarism is the term that you use for anyone who is mimicking someone else's effort and someone else's data. So आप क्या कर रहे हैं? You can build on their data. Maybe they have not explained a specific aspect in that particular research. Maybe that is a part of the limitation of the research. Maybe you can work on that. That you can get inspiration from those ends. So literature review के बहुत सारे purposes रहते हैं. One is to identify a research problem. You can very well get a research problem, brand new research problem. Now you know that you want to do something in cardiothoracic. You don't know where to start, because especially as a new researcher, it is quite common that students will get stumped. What should I research about? Because there is so much to research about. The question generally आता. First of all, you need to have a general outlook. आप कौन सा specialization में करना चाह रहे हैं? In the last chapter, I told you how you go about narrowing what you will be researching about. तो आप पहले एक general field of study पकड़ना पड़ता. उसके बाद वो field of study में आप कौन से topic पे करना चाह रहे हैं? Let's suppose आप MSN में कर रहे हैं या psychiatry में कर रहे हैं. Psychiatry में कर रहे हैं तो कौन सी disease पे करूँ मैं? ठीक है? You come across one disease or something. So for you to come across that disease, or for you to select that disease, you should know several diseases. अगर psychiatric diseases बोल रहे हैं अपन, so there are hundreds of thousands of diseases, and each of these may have subtypes. So for example, I'll tell you a few common ones. There is mania. Okay, there is depression, bipolar disorder, OCD, kleptomania. There is technically Parkinson is a motor disease, but okay, fine. But psychomotor disease में अच्छा ठीक है, Parkinson को रहने दो. There is schizo, ठीक है, kleptomania, where people corrupt things. ठीक है, ऐसे बहुत सारे हैं. So if you start reading the research and you have journals altogether for each subject. अब जैसा you will find a lot of journals only in psychiatry. मतलब उसके अंदर खाली psychiatry related papers publish होते हैं. You will find several papers, several journals that are specifically only for cardiothoracic, or maybe for urinary tract, or maybe for something else. ठीक है, उसके थोड़े papers पढ़े तो आपको पता चलता है आपका interest कहाँ पर है. Where are you aligning yourself? What is one topic that you might be interested in? Then after choosing one disease, let's suppose you are choosing schizo. ठीक है, what are you going to research on in schizo? Okay. In the sense, are you going to see patients and trying to research about causative agents? Are you going to research about different type of treatment plans, algorithms, what might be better? Antipsychotics, अलग-अलग type of antipsychotics हैं. आप first gen या second gen किस पे कर रहे हैं? ठीक है, वो ऐसा कर सकते हैं. या फिर quality of life पे कर सकते हैं आप. बहुत सारे aspects हैं. ठीक है, जो schizophrenics पे आप कर सकते हैं. So identification of a research problem can very well be developed from review of literature. Once you keep reading more and more, and make sure that whenever you are reading this literature now, write it down somewhere, from where you read it. Because what happens is, as you keep on tending to read more and more, you'll forget where is the source of that information. Bits and pieces of that source of information might be left in your brain after reading. Let's suppose you're reading some 10, 20, 30 papers, or even 100 papers, okay, in a span of 30 days or 40 days, whatever it is. Okay. What happens is you will be left with that information, but it will be hard for you to place where you got that information. The source भूल जाता है. So whenever you are reading research, try to make sure that you write it down somewhere or save that page. If you're reading it on PubMed, save that page, put it in your favorites, or do something where you are able to track that research again. Okay, should not be lost in the noise. Now, it should demonstrate familiarity. Okay, it should show that you have certain familiarity. It will demonstrate how well you know that particular subject. Okay, thinking that you know about a subject and actually reading it and knowing about a subject are two very, very different things. Okay. Now, even after, let's suppose graduation, let's suppose someone is BSc nursing, and they have studied about MSN pretty extensively, and they think that they know about myocardial infarction, about certain diseases. Okay? And if you come across a specialist, you will know what is the difference in quality of knowledge they have and the quantity of knowledge they have as well. So आप ऐसे research papers पढ़ता आपको exactly मालूम होता कितना deep जा सकते, and you will exactly know how familiar you are about certain concepts. You might find that certain doubts that you had developed over the years might be answered by reading these research papers, because you are looking at one particular topic that you have a doubt about from several perspectives, because these researchers will put on their perspective. ठीक है, आप अलग अलग पर्सपेक्टिव से देखो तो आपको पूरा पिक्चर क्लियरली दिखने लगता. ठीक है, and it also helps you establish credibility. One particular author, let's suppose you are reading about one particular topic from 10 different authors. Okay, you will exactly know after reading all of them, the 10 of them, which ones are credible and which ones are not, or at least which ones are useful to you. Okay, then it shows the link between prior research and current projects. जो current projects run हो रहे and prior research है, वो दोनों के बीच में connection क्या है, that will be filled in by literature. It also helps in integrating and summarizing your current knowledge. Okay, you'll be able to narrow down your knowledge about any particular subject, because that might stimulate new ideas. Okay, it will help in filling gaps in any body of research that you have, or anything that you studied, any knowledge that you have. It will help in identifying or developing clinical interventions. Okay, especially to test empirical research, to test through empirical research. Clinical intervention का मतलब यहाँ पर क्या आ रहा? Specifically, maybe some procedures that you can do in a better way, or maybe a few drugs that you can give in a better way. Maybe you not combine them with some other drugs, or maybe increase the dose, decrease the dose, play around with them. Okay, बहुत सारे clinical interventions कर सकते हो. It will also help, it will assist in identifying suitable study design. What study design you will be doing, आप कैसा data collect करेंगे, for developing proposals for funding, grant proposals जो आप बनाते, उसमें help करता. ठीक है, because you will understand how that published researcher went about it. ठीक है, अगर एक researcher है जो एक particular paper पे काम करा, उन्होंने अपने findings ये paper में लिख दिए, you will have one rough idea about how they did it and how you might be able to do it. Okay? Even if you are not doing research on the exact same topic and exact same things, you can use the methods. See, if you are copying from one person, that is proper copying. If you are copying from 100 people, that will not remain copying anymore. That will be research. Okay? Because you are taking information from 100 different people or from 100 different researches and published papers, and you are summarizing it in your own way and interpreting it in your own way. That is essentially research. But taking whatever is already present and you are trying to improve on it. Okay? That is essentially what you are trying to do in research. Then we come across sources of literature. Now we'll look at sources of literature and the rest of review of literature in the next class. Okay, I'll also tell what are the steps in writing a systematic review. Proper systematic review के लिए क्या करते हैं आप, कहाँ से source, where are the sources where you can read these papers that we are talking about, and all of that. Okay, I hope you understood what was taught today.